One clear question I keep getting from such youngsters is when is the right time to start. So for me, like I would like to advise them, there is no right or wrong time to start. Whenever you feel like you are ready to go into it, because it is never like if you start today, achieve results, in an year or so. So although starting a startup looks very gloomy, but it is a very tough task. Waking up every day, showing up every day is the toughest thing you will be doing for the next 3 to 5 years if you choose to enter this area. So be clear about those.
Welcome back to another exciting episode of Founder Spotlight series on behalf of Tracxn. Today with me is Mr. Pulak Rijhwani, who is the founder of Opsite. Hi, Pulak. How are you doing today?
Hi, Supan. I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing great as well. Thank you so much for making some time out of your busy schedule. Right?
Always a pleasure.
Great. My name is Supan Dasgupta, and I am heading the entire startup vertical over here. I'll get started with the first question of today, which is something to do with your backstory. How did you think about starting Opsite? We would love to hear that.
So, I'll just briefly introduce myself before, starting going to my backstory. So, I'm a mechanical engineer by background, and I've been working into manufacturing shop floors for more than 12 years. By when, I came about this idea of switching to smart manufacturing and starting Opsite AI. So, the problems that I used to face on day-to-day basis on a shop floor, like lack of visibility, lack of technology intervention to improve productivity in manufacturing, that is what led me to research about what or how AI or IoT can really augment the manufacturing capabilities and so. So I started doing some quick, I would say, small POCs inside my own company where I was working, and that is when I realized there is huge potential for this. And then I made a jump from manufacturing to smart manufacturing, and that's how the seeds of Offsite AI were born.
Got it. Got it. Would love to understand the initial challenges. If I can take you back 2 to 3 years before, right? What was the challenge? What were those challenges which you would have faced in your first year of operation?
So I would say getting early clientele to test your MVP and getting validation was one of the biggest challenges that we faced during our first year of our operation. And also finding the right talent in the team was another challenge that we faced. Being an early stage startup, bootstrap startup, it is difficult to hire good interns or people from top colleges even in the initial stages. So getting the people with the right mindset as well as getting the clientele, or I would say industry clients, wherein we could test our MVP was a challenge while we started. But as we progressed along, we were fortunate to get a couple of early clients and who are very enthusiastic about this technology. And since then, like there has been no looking back. One client saw our solution, then someone else saw the solution at their place. So the entire clientele that I have today has come through word of mouth only, and that's only on the merit of the solution that we have built.
Got it. Got it. And what was the kind of growth you would have seen compared to first year versus second year and the third year, so on and so forth, in terms of that graph of clients which were getting added to your ecosystem?
So the first year we had just one client where we did a POC. So initial 8 9 months we were busy building our MVP, testing it. A lot of industrial data from machines was required to test out our models and all. So that was a challenge. So first year like we had just one or two clients. Then in the second year we had four major clients from the automotive industry where we started working. And the third year is currently ongoing. We have 16 B2B clients as of now with recurring order book from them. The year-on-year growth, if I say it is the average, if I sum up in the last 3 years, is 300% year-on-year growth that we are currently facing, we have currently reached in the clientele as well as I would say the business, the clientele as well as the revenue both.
Understood. That's great to hear. Uh, would love to understand in the next 12 months or so, what is going to be the most exciting part in your company that we should be aware of?
So, like we are hosting, I would say, launching a host of new verticals under Opsite AI. There is something known as Opsite Academy, which will be launching in the next 3 months, wherein a consultancy arm of Opsite AI will also come up. So we have done a couple of projects in this area already with the industries, and now we are launching it as a separate arm as well. And also we are launching a couple of more applications or products in our, I would say, solution portfolio to complete the smart manufacturing solution spectrum. So that is what I am most excited about in the next 12 months.
Got it. Got it. Now, over the last couple of years, we have seen how AI has impacted the entire ecosystem, right? As far as most of the companies are concerned. Since you are into the same thing, right? Would love to understand, how did you leverage the impact of AI in your own ecosystem?
So like in our own like development process also we use AI very often. Initially, like I'll give an example. Initially, when we used to connect a machine with our platform, it used to take 3 to 4 days, literally to connect a single machine. So now that process has come down to 30 minutes with the help of AI, and we have literally virtualized the entire process of commissioning or integrating a machine on our platform. So that is where like AI has actually improved our productivity a lot in terms of technical development as well as product launch as well. At the same time, we are also seeing there is a lot of buzz in the industry, even in the manufacturing industry. So the sector we work in is typically 10, 15 years behind, like fintech and where AI has been, very active since from quite long. So manufacturing is just starting to use AI, and like there is a lot of buzz currently, and the clients are finding a lot of use cases. So certainly everybody is like very optimistic about it, but at the same time we also have to keep some caution regarding like we cannot entirely depend on it. There is still human domain expertise required, for that AI models to actually mature to a level where they can take care of everything on their own.
The next segment will be something around fundraising. Are you looking for fundraising at the moment?
Yes, like this is the exact stage where we are, looking to raise our first seed round, and we are in touch with a couple of investors. So even before coming to Tracxn platform, we had some leads in the investment community, but like since now we are using Tracxn actively, so we are yet to start our journey in this area. I believe we should be able to close our fundraising in the next 4 to 5 months, and like that's the plan.
Understood. Taking the same context ahead in terms of fundraise journey of any of the startups, rather take an example of Opsite itself, right? What do you feel as a co-founder yourself? The why, when, and where to start this fundraising journey? What should be the right ideal start point for any co-founder?
So I believe like once you have tested your idea, being an ethical founder yourself, you should have at least tested your idea on some early clientele before going for the fundraising, so that you have validated the at least the product and you have some traction from the industry. So I believe once you start getting traction from the industry, and you should really need funds to scale up and not for just burning it out. So if you are sustainable on your own for some time, or I know a lot of people will not agree to this, being bootstrapped for some time, but like if you can sustain your company being bootstrapped till you get some traction from the industry, then you get convinced about, yeah, that the product is right, then I think that is the right stage when you should go for fundraising. And like we are in the exact stage right now where we have validated our solution across multiple industries, multiple clients, and now we are not looking for capital to sustain our salaries or working capital. We are operationally positive even today, but to scale up, actually, to take Opsite AI to a different scale, that is where we will be needing fundraising. And like I believe that should be the core objective as well. We should link fundraising with the clear objectives where to how to exponentially grow our company, not just an aspiration of raising fundraising. It should have a clear cut objective set. That should be the time when you should go for fundraising.
Got it. That's very interesting. Now, in terms of identifying the right potential set of competitors, right, either from India or from abroad, right, I'm sure you would have done some sort of benchmarking for yourself, right? Would love to understand that process in case I think there are three co-founders, including you, right?
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
have sat together and did some sort of homework in identifying the right sort of competitors and studied their journey as well over the last 5 to 10 years, right? Who are those people who have picked up funding? Who are those people who have so and so revenue, the kind of growth story? Have you done any such kind of benchmarking for yourself?
Yes, yes, we did. Even like before starting the company itself, we knew what are the players that are in India, even abroad in US and Europe as well. So we are even in touch with them. So companies like Infinite Uptime, Litmus, who are also our competitors but quite ahead of us in their journey. So we are also in touch with their founders as well. We talk to them. So just to seek some mentorship, what was their journey. So we had an opportunity to directly connect with them also through LinkedIn, but with the Tracxn subscription now that we are also able to see how their fundraising has happened, what was the valuation that they got over a period of time, and also to see what kind of solution portfolio has been offered by them. So even all of that we were doing without Tracxn as well. But yeah, we did do a lot of survey on our own just to see where we fit in that solution spectrum.
Got it. Got it. Any kind of stuff that you would love to inform the set of VCs, angels, or any kind of investors who would be watching this video after some time, right? That this is something, some sort of information that you would love to throw light on via this platform.
Yeah. So, like, I would like to tell all the VCs and investors who are maybe looking at Opsite AI. So, there are a lot of IIoT and AI companies in India currently who are also doing good in this domain. But what we realized is, like, since we come from the manufacturing background, we have been there in the shoes of the shop floor managers and all. So, we understand, like, how these technologies can actually implement, I would say, improve their productivity and all. And I would say, to sum it up, like, we would have been the first users, or I would say first early adopters of these technologies ourselves if we were working to shop floors or manufacturing currently. So that is a different perspective that we bring into the, I would say, table while working with our clients. And that is also one of the reasons why we have 80% retention and repeat orders from all our existing clients as on date. And like, none of the other competitors have targeted MSMEs as a solution, I would say, a target market, as well as they focus on separate verticals themselves in the area of Industry 4.0. We at Opsite AI are not just building a, I would say, solution for IoT or AI. We are building a complete manufacturing intelligence platform that caters to all the needs, right from data acquisition to predictive analytics over a single platform, which is currently missing in other platforms in India. So these are the two key differentiators with us. I would like to tell them about that, and I would hope to get connected with them once they have evaluated as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. In terms of manufacturing tech industry in India, right, or abroad, right? Especially taking India's point of view in this context, right? What do you feel is how's the future of manufacturing tech startups looking like 5 years down the line? What do you feel about that?
I believe the future of manufacturing tech startup is very bright in India because, like, unlike Europe or I would say West, where industries matured from industry 2.0 to 3.0 to 4.0, there is a visible gap in India where 70% of the industries are still at industry 2.0 level. So, making to bridge this gap from industry 2.0 to 4.0, we will need a lot of good companies. The market is huge, the market potential is huge, and like also as it is said, like. That these are tough sectors to solve. Not anybody can enter the sector and solve these problems. So, but this is a long game. You cannot enter for a short term and expect results very soon. But if you are in it for a long term, the sector is very promising. And I believe like it is booming year on year, growing at a CAGR of more than 20-25%, even in our sector. So like the potential is huge.
Got it. Got it. You see, every year there are thousands of startups which keep on coming, right? It keeps on adding to the pipeline, right?
Yeah.
And most of these startups are being headed by a person who is probably in his late 20s. You would have seen that, right? Most of the early stage startups, right? What sort of advice you would love to share with those youngsters who are looking, or maybe they have their own startup dream? Any kind of do's and don'ts, probably, which you have learned over the last 2 to 3 years of your journey of being one of the co-founders over here?
So one clear like question I keep getting from such youngsters is when is the right time to start. So for me, like I would like to advise them, there is no right or wrong time to start. Whenever you feel like you are ready to go into it, because it is never like if you start today, you'll achieve results, in an year or so. So although starting a startup looks very gloomy, but it is a very tough task. Waking up every day, showing up every day is the toughest thing you will be doing for the next 3 to 5 years if you choose to enter this area. So be clear about those goals. That is one thing. Second would be a lot of people I see, assume a lot of things instead of, talking to a real client. They keep building their product. They spend 10 months, 12 months, 15 months building a product and eventually realize that the product has not found the product market fit. So talk to real clients, take a real problem, start working on it. Maybe just have a one client who can, give you an opportunity to try on his, I would say, business for free. Even that is fine. Work with 5 clients for free, even that is fine. Gain some experience, quickly learn what is needed, quickly find product market fit, keep pivoting till you find the right solution. And like the hustle never stops. It will keep going, keep going. You cannot have a deadline, but if you're constantly working in the upward direction, you will fly out with, passing grade, or I would say great flying colors.
Absolutely, very well said. So chasing the right set of problem is very, very important rather than thinking just about the solution, right?
Yeah.
Quite often we have the tendency of jumping directly into the solution without even realizing what exactly the problem was, isn't it?
Yes,
Right?
yes,
That
true, true.
happens. I have also seen a lot of such kind of mistakes being done by so many youngsters, right? Great. My last question for today will be in terms of your market intelligence needs, in terms of your market research needs, or any kind of data usage needs. How Traction has helped you over the last few months?
So like it's been I believe 2.5 months since we have subscribed to Traction. Prior to that, we had access to generic kind of reports that we used to get, from news and all. But there was no specific information about, what's happening in the sector in general. And also like there is very little information about the companies also in public domain. Like what was their revenue, what was their, I would say, earning potential, what was their valuation on which they got funded and all. So all that information is very fragmented. So Traction has really helped us, prepare a valuation for ourselves on the basis of which now we are, negotiating with the investors on the term sheet and all. So we have clearly got very good benchmarks. That is where Traction has helped. And another thing where Traction is helping us is like, so every time I go to talk to a client, whether it's a tier one company or a tier two company, so I search about the company in detail before I talk to the client as well. So the information, particularly financial information, the board information, the structure of the company, that really helps, before going to the client.
Mhm.
When we go there and we tell them, yeah, we know that you are growing at this turnover year on year, and I think we can further support your journey. That also adds up to our, uh, pitch and like help us convert the clients early as well. So it shows deep knowledge about the company. So that is another area which is an intangible benefit I have got after subscribing to Traction. And market intelligence certainly has been very the key highlight of subscribing to Traction.
Very glad to hear that, Pulak. Well, that's all from my side for today. We would love to touch base on you one more time, maybe in a few months from now, to hear some more success story coming out of Opsite, right? Thank you so much. I thank you on behalf of the entire team, okay, entire team of Traction, okay, that you have given us your valuable time, okay, out of your busy schedule. And thanks a lot for joining this call and wishing you all the very best to the entire team of Offsite for more and more, fantastic stories coming up, right?
Thank you. Thank you. It was a pleasure being here. Always happy to share, experiences with fellow entrepreneurs and all. Like, we even like when we were starting up, we got to hear such kind of podcasts and interviews from a lot of senior entrepreneurs, and that helped us a lot as well, even though we are seniors from the industry. So I believe, yeah, this is certainly a right step, a step in the right direction with Traction, and it will certainly gonna be very helpful for other startups as well. Yeah.
Great, great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Pulak. Okay.